Hello, YouTube. We are coming to the end of our Hulk 181 road from restored to conservation, hopefully. Okay, so what are we doing now? What we're going to do now is I need to remove the staples. And I am very particular when I remove staples because it's a very important aspect of conservation. I have to leaf cast the centerfold because one of the staples popped through the bottom staple. So, how do I remove staples? I've done this many times in the past. And one of the first things that I do is I get a piece of tape and I'll write T on top. That means, could anyone guess it? Top. And then when I take the staples off, I'll place the staples on the tape with the top staple on the top of the top staple on the top, and so forth. So, one of the most important things I think in removing staples is that you have to, you need to actually use only plastic tools. And the reason why I only use plastic tools is because I remove staples very often. And so far, all of the books that I remove staples on, there has been no indication of any staple tampering. If you use metal, metal will produce scratch marks or tooling marks on the actual staple, and then that will most definitely trigger, in my opinion, some type of shenanigans with CGC, whether it being a conserved grade or something else of that fashion. So what I do is I like to use my bone, and I like to get in there, and all you have to do is just raise one little section like I just did. And the important thing is that you need to hold one section down, or the one part of the staple down, when you are doing it. So, I'm going to be up front with you. I don't like filming when I remove staples. The reason being is because I need to get really close with my eyes, and I get really close to the actual paper so I can remove it, and with the camera, I don't want my head blocking it. So stay tuned, and when we come back, these staples will be removed. Actually, I'm back, and I found a way that I can remove it without my head getting in the way. So I am sitting down right now. So that's the top. Very easy peasy. It's really not difficult. I see a lot of people doing it different ways, and it's something that I find very easy to do. So sometimes you just have to get in there and you have to move the book around. So there you go. Here's the first staple. So that was easy peasy. Okay, that's it. So let's flip it around, and this is going to be pulled. Actually, let's push it out, and we'll let it drop. Remember, I'm very particular where I want to know where the top is. So this is the top of the staple. So what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll put it on my tape. That's the top staple, and that's the top of the top staple. Okay. So that's how we're going to do it. Now, believe it or not, it's not sticking on the tape because there is rust on the staple. Now, this centerfold should pop off right now. And it did. It popped off because it was detached. Now, I wonder if anyone would want this. So let me know in the comments. Now we're going to take off the bottom staple. So let's do that. We'll take, remember, put your finger on one side of the staple because you want to apply pressure. And then you just do the same by holding the top piece. Use plastic tools. Always plastic, never metal. All you have to do is get it raised a little bit, and then you're in it. There you go. That was it. Okay, let's push it through. Take it out. Complete. So this is the top of the bottom staple. And I'll put it on my tape. So we know that's the top. Okay, those are the two staples. So what we're going to do is let me get a little vinegar and I'll be right back. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, I am back. And what do I have? I have some simple white distilled vinegar. This 5% acidity is what will eat away at the rust. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit into this plastic container. Not much. And again, Roger suggested this. Thank you, Roger. I use vinegar to remove rust, and just to let you guys know, if any of you are barbecue enthusiasts, when the grates get rusty, what I do every spring is I take the grates off and I buy 2 or 3 gallons of vinegar. It's very inexpensive, and I soak the grates every spring in the container in the vinegar, and it cleans all the rust and it does a very nice job. So that's my tip of the day in relation to barbecuing. Let's get a little closer. So I'm going to take the camera off just so you see what we're dealing with. You can see the rust on the staples. I hope the camera's picking it up. So, I like to keep my staples in order with top to bottom. So, how are we going to do this? Very simple. I am going to put the actual staples in the container next to the tape. And I want to take the top one, and we're just going to let it sit on the bottom of the actual plastic container. That's not working because it's floating. It's lighter. So I need to put something on it in order to weigh it down. So I always have a few bolts and nuts in my workshop. So here is a nut. Let's find another nut, and hopefully those nuts will not float because they will be heavier. But let's check it out. Let's see. They don't. Okay, so what I want to do is I'll take the actual, and again, this is only for crazy people like me, because when I take something out of a book or anything else that I deal with, I like to put it back the same way. So there's the bottom. We're going to let this soak for a little bit. Hopefully the rust will be removed. We'll take it out and we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to soak it for at least 2-3 hours, and hopefully the rust will be removed, and then maybe we'll wipe it down a little bit with a rough cloth, nothing too abrasive. And then these will be nice and new, and then we'll go to putting the book back together once I'm done with the centerfold. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, just a quick follow-up and to show you the staples in the vinegar. Now, you can see the pieces of rust, hopefully the camera's picking it up, that are next to the staples. I basically took them out periodically and used a rough washcloth to wipe them down, and the rust is coming off. So this is a good method, and this is going to conclude this segment. Next one is book assembly, which I believe I am going to do off camera. So stay tuned.